There's a kind of energy in the air, especially around what Starfield might be. It's truly a good time to be a gamer. And today's video, hello everyone and welcome in. We're talking about Starfield again today, is going to focus in on some revelations that really come out of the Kinda Funny Games cast. Paris, if you guys don't follow him, he was recently on the show talking about how he may or may not have had somebody who talked to an anonymous source who may or may not be playing it and who may or may not have made him more hyped. But let's go ahead and let him and his words speak for it, and then we're going to discuss it.
Can I say this, and I will keep it anonymous.
Anonymous,
protect the innocent.
Okay.
I may or may not have talked to someone that has been playing Starfield.
Whoa.
And they may or may not have got me pretty hyped for it, in the sense that this anonymous person said that they're going to be very fascinated to see how it's reviewed, just because of the size of what this game is, just how big it is. And I'll leave it at that.
My first thought about this is it's truly interesting to see how the internet and the anticipation for Starfield both is building naturally due to the hype that will be this game as it launches in early access here on September 1st. In fact, I've actually taken that day off work. We're going to live stream it. So if you guys want to hear more Starfield news and impressions, be sure to be subscribed to the channel so you don't miss those notifications when they go out. But beyond that, there's just this real interesting aspect. I keep falling into a positive category, which I know is, is kind of a mortal sin for YouTubers to actually be excited about gaming. But you know what? Here we are. On this note, though, I keep getting more and more excited with essentially this odd level of confidence that just feels like the team behind the game is ready. Like they're just absolutely confident in the state of the game. Obviously, this, is building off of the news that there's not going to be a playable demo at Gamescom when the game releases a couple of weeks later. I think one week and a half or something like that after Gamescom wraps up. And here we got some slowly trickling out information throughout the month of August, all leading up to September. Here's the best thing about it, is that as a gamer, as somebody who has been just absolutely loving the RPG here in 2023, there is no lack of games to be played right now. In fact, I've thought about making a couple of different videos about what you should be playing rather than Destiny or something like that, as my feed personally has been filled with so many people frustrated at the state of this game. My choice is that if you're frustrated with whatever game you're playing, I've got really good news for you. It's like if you go to the same restaurant over and over and over again, you've tried everything on the menu, and there's just nothing that you're absolutely craving. Well, allow me to introduce you to the thousands of restaurants that are banger restaurants all right next to you. They're all just within arm's reach. And so this is where we are as we build up through the month of August. We've got Baldur's Gate 3, which some people have been trying to use as some kind of console war aspect, that Baldur's Gate 3 is launching on the PS5. Oh, the Xbox Series S is holding back Xbox. Honestly, it's entertainment for entertainment's sake. I can't take any of that too seriously. It's just something that, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it as gamers. Here's points for Team A, here's points for Team B. But when Starfield launches, that's going to be a real interesting kind of focal point. Now, right or wrong, no matter what, all of us gamers out there are eyeing Starfield as some kind of key metric to justify the cost of buying Bethesda. And this is interesting because none of my money was spent buying Bethesda. Chances are none of your money was spent buying Bethesda. But this is something that I think is even more important, especially after the reception of Redfall. Now, that's a whole other subject, whole other video. We've talked about it here on the channel. If you guys are interested in it, check out my Problem With series as we dive into various different topics and, discussions. But focusing in on Starfield, though, this information from Paris actually does have me hyped. Now, what's also interesting, if we just tap into some other aspects, people are shooting him down naturally, the team fighting stuff, all of it's to be expected. But because he was excited about a game and 3 years ago it didn't launch well. Guys, if a game doesn't launch well, it sucks. There's no other way, shape, or form about it, but there's nothing we can do to control it. Hype is a natural part of what it means to be in this business. In fact, most of the content creators that have grown to such heights usually are on the back of hype. They were ahead of the wave, then there was a hype wave, and then all of a sudden, you know their names. Ninja is a great example. They did the work, they were there, they capitalized, and then eventually when all of a sudden everybody heard of Fortnite, bada bing, bada boom, now everybody's heard of Ninja. And this tends to be kind of the cycle. So I'm not going to sit here and douse anybody's hype. I'm always just going to try to bring in the practical mindset is that, guys, if the game doesn't do well, guess what? You're going to be just fine. There's a lot of other really games to play out there, but I'm just not getting that vibe. And I hope that I'm not wrong, but if I am, I'll own it. But when it comes down to just the fact that it's so interestingly quiet, and that won't be forever. If you're watching this towards the end of August, I'm sure you're going to be seeing lots of advertisements for Starfield. And once that marketing really kicks into high gear, it's going to be something. It's going to be one of those moments that, you know, well received or not, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to be a part of. But anyway, guys, I thought this was interesting. I thought what Paris had to add to say here. Obviously, he's being very coy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think that's a part of this kind of fun, because clearly he's talked to somebody. Clearly this is the information. But I think he's kind of covering his bases because of his access and connections. But anyway, I'm really happy to see this clip. I'm interested in the discussion. If you guys have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Sound off below. If you guys feel like it earns it, like, repost, share, all that good stuff is a great way of helping these out. I'm going to wish you guys all the best. I can't wait to talk more Starfield with you as we get closer to launch. And yeah, until then, guys, take care.